Good morning. Welcome to day 28. Today we're going to talk about the 10 most successful businesses that you can start in 2023 or 2024. Virtual assistants are everywhere. They come up on every list as like a work-at-home mom to do, a side hustle. They were just on my list of great new business ideas. But this one is to actually manage a team of virtual assistants. So you start a company and you manage the team, you manage the relationships with the small business owners and the solo entrepreneurs. Or there's a company called 1840 and Company where they will actually help you find clients. So if you can get the people to be the virtual assistants and you need help getting companies, look up 1840 and Company. As a virtual assistant, you're going to help them book appointments, send and reply to emails, and you're going to help manage their clients. So they can just come in and do the assistant work while you're managing everything else. Number 2 is a social media management service. So again, social media manager, social media assistant has been like in all of my lists. So this one is saying you're starting a company and you are going to manage these social media managers and assistants. You're going to help them get jobs. You're going to help manage all the bookkeeping. Potentially you're going to do payroll and benefits and taxes and all that for them. But that's very much in demand. I would tell you virtual assistant and social media managers are jobs that I see in demand everywhere. And I would tell you that I potentially will use, I have a virtual assistant, but I would potentially use both. But if you want to start a company and manage that for me, so now I can just call you. I don't need to necessarily have the same virtual manager every day or the same social media manager every day. Would be helpful, but it's not always the case. If you have a business and you structure it and you train all of your employees the same way, then that could be something where, I can have, Janet one day and Bob the next day, or Juan one day and Gerard the other. So, however that works. A web design agency. So if you're good at web design, if you have friends that are in web design, come together and form an agency. So far, I haven't had a problem being a sole practitioner, and learning today on irs.gov that 99.7% of businesses are sole practitioners makes me feel a lot better that I don't need to be a big company, and neither do you. But if you do have people to come together, make a company of 3 or 4 and get a graphic design, web development company started, that's a great. Number 4 for my ideas of great successors are coffee shops. Americans are addicted. It was actually funny. I was watching, Emily in Paris. Was it Emily in Paris? No. I was watching, I don't know what I was watching. I was watching something on either YouTube or Netflix. But it was basically like they don't drink coffee after 11. It's only Americans. And I was like, really? Like people don't drink it all day long? And it might have been Italy. It was either Italy or France they were talking about. And it was very surprising to me. But in America, opening up a coffee shop, we like to linger. We like to socialize there. Obviously, it doesn't need to be just coffee, tea, sparkly drinks, seltzers. Selling online courses. So I don't know what I'm going to do with all this content that I've researched and I'm creating. I mean, I honestly have like 60 more videos I can make because I had to research so much to start up my business. And in some upcoming videos, I've had to recently do research of, do I want to hire an employee or a contractor? Do I get to choose if it's an employee or a contractor? But anyway, so there's a wealth of information. Maybe you have a wealth of information on something, and it doesn't have to be starting a business or a college course. It could be, how to knit. Like you want to teach someone how to knit a specific blanket or sweater. I know my husband is constantly doing stuff with his lawnmower. So maybe you have the intellect and the information to build a whole course on how to fix a specific type of lawnmower, or I don't know, general type of lawnmower. I don't know lawnmowers. I just mow the lawn. I just like when it's cut. It's just kind of like, I don't necessarily know how a car works. I like when I go in there and I have my heated seat and my coffee and the map so I can get where I'm going. Everything else about a car, that's why I got married. But there's also YouTube now. You can kind of search up anything on YouTube. But there's 2 companies if you want to write a course or you have information for a course. There's Udemy, so Udemy, and there is Skillshare. So look at those two websites and they'll kind of walk you through what you need, how much material, what the pricing is. So I've read that some courses can sell for $150. It really probably depends. I've seen courses that sell for $600, $1,500, what have you. It probably really just depends on the material that you're presenting to make a course out of. Number 6 is affiliated marketing. So I do some of that, kind of, not really. I don't make any money. But it's I have the Amazon affiliated marketing, so I can actually put links to stuff from Amazon, like in my descriptions or on my blog, and you can click it and buy it, and then I get a percentage. That's never happened. I don't think I've put one single link in my blog descriptions, probably because I don't necessarily mention specific things. I've mentioned some books, like my friend Katie Arnold's Running Home book. Again, I don't have a link. Look up Running Home in Amazon and buy her book. I don't need to get paid for it. I'd like her to get paid for it. She's an excellent reader. She is an excellent reader. I don't need to get paid for it. Katie is an excellent writing. It does touch about running, but it's really more of connecting to her youth, to her father who had recently passed away. So their number 7 is a home tutor. So the nice thing with this day and age is you can be physically present or you can be virtual present. My daughter's tutor sometimes is physically here in our house, and other times she is virtually present, mainly because of holidays and travel and stuff. She'll go virtual. A video editor. So it's actually not a skill that's really that hard to learn how to do. I actually watched a YouTube tutorial on how to edit videos. I even typed in the type of computer I have and it popped up and it showed me how to do it. So you can learn how to do it. It does take time. I mean, it's easy, but you still have to watch the video like multiple times in order to edit it properly. So it's time consuming. And at some point when my daughter's knee is fixed and she's back to playing her tennis, I'm not going to have as much free time as I do right now. So I might want to hand over my video editing to somebody else. The others, I like when I have like titles at the bottom, so when you're watching you can kind of see what's going on. So again, that's like a whole nother level of time consumption. So if you can watch some YouTube videos, learn how to video edit, and then offer up that service, it's a nice opportunity. And number 9 is e-commerce. So e-commerce has become like a really big business for a lot of people. And in fact, I had an e-commerce business 10 years ago. I started it when my son was diagnosed with learning challenges and we needed a little extra income, and I didn't want to have to leave the house. I wanted to be able to work when I wanted to work. So I started an Etsy shop and I sold bloomers. But there are a bunch of different things you can do. So some of the e-commerce platforms are WooCommerce, so WOO Commerce. Shopify, you've probably heard of. I hadn't heard of this one, but Oberlo, so probably not pronouncing that one right either. OBERLO. So if you like to sell things, so either you can buy goods inexpensively and then sell them, as your own shop on these websites, or you can make your own products and then sell them. Well, on Etsy, you can sell the products you make. You can try to get into something that's more resale, like antique-y, and then you can sell that on Etsy, eBay, as well as Craigslist. So there's lots of ways to kind of get into e-commerce and sell. And sometimes if you use, eBay or Etsy, the platform's up and running. I mean, they take a nice chunk of what you're doing, but if you want to get up and running tomorrow because your mom just gave you 29,000 Santa Clauses, I'm not selling them. But yeah, my mom is downsizing. My parents are in their mid 80s and I just inherited, 30, 40, 50 Santa Clauses, carolers, nutcrackers. I could sell those on eBay or Etsy. Craigslist would probably be the least profitable way for me to sell it. But yeah, there are those sites that you can do it. I'd also look at your hosting platform. So, with eBay, Etsy, I believe Shopify, you're using their platform. So sometimes it's going to be a slower platform. You might be limited to how much you can scale. So being on Etsy, I didn't have a problem with scaling my business or my shop on Etsy. And again, I stopped 6 years ago selling on Etsy, 5 years ago selling on Etsy. I had my shop up to 6 figures in sales. I will tell you, it was hard work. I worked hard. That's why it's like my husband's like, oh, why are you just starting an Etsy shop? And I was like, or starting a YouTube channel. And I just was like, I don't know. I guess I just have like that nervous junkie to always be really busy. My back's bad. I'm not able to play tennis anymore or go running. I did do some lunges the other day and I paid the price for it. So there's just limited in what I would love to do with my free time would be play sports. So this is my second love. And Etsy was a lot of just a lot of time, and it was a lot of up and down, up and down, up and down, getting fabric, getting embroidery thread. I made embroidery baby items, and it was a lot. So I don't think I can handle that anymore. Number 10 is Amazon fulfillment by Amazon. So you find a product you'd like to sell. You have to present it to Amazon. They have to agree, to sell it, that the quality is good or it's a unique product or what have you. So once they agree to sell it, they'll put it up on their site, but then you have to buy all of the inventory and send it to them. And they basically package and ship everything. So you're just choosing what you want to sell. They do all the payments, they do the returns, and then they give you whatever's left for you. So it's actually really great. I've heard people making a lot of money on that. I honestly would watch a tutorial specifically on that if that interests you. But that is something where it's not a lot of your time. It's in terms of fulfilling and shipping and all of that. Like Etsy, I had to, print out the labels, go to the post office, mail my packages. The returns came back to my house, and I had to figure out the return. So there was a lot of that customer kind of messy stuff when they want to return or it's not sent. This way, Amazon handles all of that, and they just send you money. That sounds really wonderful to me, to be honest with you, from dealing with my experiences of having my own Etsy shop. But again, it depends what you're looking for. The more someone else does for you, the less money you make. So that was the other thing, right? For me, like doing most of the stuff myself when I had my Etsy shop meant that I was able to keep more of the money. So keep that in mind when you look at opportunities of things you want to do. The more you can do yourself, the more money you're going to make. So thank you so much for watching my video, and have a nice day.